Welcome back, guys, to another video by your boy. Today we're gonna be reacting to Death Battle, the Death Battle between Ichigo Kurosaki and Yusuke Urameshi. It was just recently uploaded today, so that's gonna be awesome. Going forward, Death Battle will still be recorded in this format, while, for example, CJ the Champ, depending on whether the video gets claimed or not, because sometimes CJ's videos get claimed for no reason, so. I might have to re-record them in a different format, but that depends. So yeah, just so you guys know, in case you guys wonder why he's recording it in a different format for other videos. So yeah, right before we jump right in, guys, remember, guys, to hit the like button down below. It'll be greatly appreciated. It'll tell me how much you guys like the video, as well as subscribe. We're currently at 62 subscribers. We're trying to hit 100 subscribers as the goal. So yeah, we're on our way there, guys. And again, thank you guys so much for those who subscribed. So enough of this rambling that I'm going on, and let's jump right in. All right, guys, let's jump right in. We're to the death battle. It's the death battle, guys. This is gonna be sick.
Ichigo Kurosaki.
Ichigo, my goat.
Yusuke Urameshi.
Yusuke, my other goat.
Shinigami of Bleach versus the.
All right, guys. Already, I'm like before we continue, I want to state who I think is gonna win. Okay, my money's on Ichigo. I'm sorry, Yu Yu Hakusho fans, but I don't think Yusuke has much of a chance against Ichigo. So my money's on Ichigo for winning. Okay, I love both of these guys. Okay, I love Yusuke. Spirit gun, fucking dope. I used to play like that as a kid. Like, used to pretend like I had spirit guns. But Ichigo, greatest, the goat, the king, bro. Bagged a baddie like Yorihime, has a son, has godlike abilities. Come on, guys. Well, then again, I think Yusuke has pretty close too, but who knows? We'll see what they say. Let's see.
Spirit detective of Yu Yu Hakusho. He's Wiz and I'm Boomstick. And it's our job to
Sorry about the
weapons, armor,
sniffing. I have like
find out who would win
allergy. All right, who's
me,
gonna win, guys? Who's gonna win?
What happens when we die? Endless.
We all die?
Jeez, man, I don't know. We just started.
We go to heaven.
Souls are ferried by Shinigami, gods of death, in an eternal cycle of death and rebirth. That was my second guess. And when a soul goes astray, warped by evil and regret, it's a Shinigami's job to purify such violent hollows and send them off to the realm of the dead, the Soul Society. Works great till it doesn't. Enter Ichigo Kurosaki, whose tragic anime backstory came way too early when his mom was killed by a hollow. Reason number one why you should never want your kid to be the anime protagonist. Left with his grief, young Ichigo was crushed under the weight of survivor's guilt. So he lashed out the.
Yeah, Ichigo is one of those protagonists that only lost his mom, but still has his dad. Then there's other protagonists that have their dad but lost their mom. It's weird. And then there's those that don't have either. So, yeah. In order to be an anime protagonist, guys, you have to sacrifice one of your parents to the void to get powers, I guess.
The only way he knew how, beating people up. But this wound began to heal when he found his calling, upon meeting a Shinigami named Rukia.
Rukia
Kuchiki. A powerful hollow,
yep.
She gave Ichigo her powers, rousing unseen potential within. Boom! Just like that, Ichigo's a Shinigami. Substitute Shinigami. To carry out his duties, Ichigo sheds his body for an invisible one made of spiritual matter called Reishi. He can wield vast amounts of spiritual energy called Ryoku.
Don't ask me the difference between them.
In the form of spiritual pressure, or Reiatsu.
Okay, Reiatsu spiritual pressure. Reishi is the stuff that goes to feed Reiatsu.
With an epic sword,
they explained it. Good.
So strong, he can stun lock foes, crushing them under his own power, even fatally. He controls spirit matter in and around him, hardening his skin for defense and leaping off of
that's the Quincy ability.
Paired with speed boosting skills like Shunpo, he can virtually fly.
Yeah, Shunpo, I believe, is the Shinigami like fast step. Then the hollows have Sonido, and I don't remember what the fuck the Quincy's have. The Quincy's like speed moving thing is called something different, but they all have a different technique to move fast like that, and they're called different depending on their race or whatever, their race.
Money. And hello to the town's new superhero with fellow Ghostbusters
damn it, bro, he out.
Chad, and Uryu.
Chad, my goat.
It was the Shinigami's job to tear Hollows a new hole. While balancing responsibilities at
Yep.
school, of course. GPA comes first, and maybe a round or two of tech. But it wouldn't
Hey, I love
be possible
Tekken.
without his Shinigami blade, a Zanpakuto. It's basically a superpowered spirit that's physically a sword.
Yeah.
Ghost sword. Though strangely, Ichigo's sword is composed of two distinct spirits, both named
White.
Zangetsu, which isn't
White
confusing at all.
White Zangetsu and
Gollum
then Old Man
and
Zangetsu.
Hollow Zangetsu.
Yep.
Anyway, the double ghost sword gives Ichigo lots of new moves, including his trademark attack, the sword beam to end all
Getsuga
sword beams.
Tensho!
Getsuga Tensho!
Yeah, the most
Getsuga
badass
is
shit ever, bro.
incredibly powerful and so effective that Ichigo developed multiple variants. He can
Yep.
fire it as a wave, detonate it mid-attack to act as a barrier,
Yep.
and combine two at once into the even stronger
Jinsho.
Getsuga Jujisho. To
Jujisho,
cut even
yeah.
the biggest hollows down to size, Ichigo was ridiculously strong, even from frame 1. He could make giant shockwaves and parry spiritual light beams from a Menos Grande. And these aren't fake, slower-than-light lasers. Guidebook
And remember, this shit was at the beginning of the series to the point where it's shocked Rukia so much that Ichigo was just able to fucking block this god level Sero, which most Shinigami would struggle with. If you're not a captain, or I think even lieutenants will struggle blocking a fucking attack from a Sero like that and not take damage. And Ichigo managed to block that shit and to come out fine. Kind of.
books confirm they're real light, and the novels say so too. Plus,
Yeah.
early on, Uryu moved so fast that he left his own shadow behind. But as Ichigo became more involved with the Soul Society, he quickly
The
found
Spanish
that he
guitar,
wasn't
bro,
good
is
enough.
sick. I love it.
Byakuya guy's so fast, Ichigo can't even see him. Time
Yeah,
for a
Byakuya
good
was
old-fashioned
cold when we
training
first
arc.
met him, dude.
Hit the music! Until now,
Damn.
Zangetsu had operated only in its base state, Shikai. So
Yep.
Ichigo learned to release
The
its
first
inner
form.
power, a
Shikai.
10 times boost that takes most Shinigami a decade to master.
Bonkai.
Kai.
The second
Bankai,
release,
his
yep.
speed skyrocketed, letting him turn the tables on douchebag Byakuya. Even in Shikai, he blocked an attack that could destroy the whole frickin' Soul
Again.
Society. Because Ichigo's greatest
Broken.
gift
What is
is
this?
potential to improve. Despite only being a teenager, he mastered swordsmanship well enough to thrash experts who had been training for centuries.
Which is
He could
crazy.
quickly adapt to new weapons and styles mid-fight, surpassing his limits time.
Well, to be fair, I'm pretty sure Ichigo did study martial arts as a kid, and I think I think he might have still continued studying it a bit going forward, which it does explain why he can pick up martial arts pretty quickly. Maybe. That's a maybe. Because, like, as a kid, if you guys remember in one of the backstories with Tatsuki, like, recalling beating him up as a kid, Ichigo was taking classes, and martial arts classes as a kid. So, my guess is he either continued those out of his, like, desire to become stronger, or he continued training on his own. Who knows?
Time and time again.
Sorry if I'm,
Took on
you know,
Cat
pausing
Boy
it so much. I'm
Grimjaw.
not gonna
He was
do that
getting
going forward.
clapped, but as soon as he heard Orihime cheered him on, that was
I love
all he
Orihime,
needed to
bro.
smash that kitty.
I'd fight
even
that dude if
Grimjaw,
Orihime
right?
cheered me on, too.
But even with that main character energy, Ichigo couldn't match Big Bad Aizen. With
Aizen,
just a
that
finger,
bastard.
Aizen stopped Ichigo's Bankai and his theme song. Rude.
He did.
Ichigo needed to tap into his unexplained hollow power. Except Hollow Zangetsu wasn't going to make it easy.
Nope.
Old Man Zang's pretty chill, but this guy's a menace. Still, Ichigo
Yep.
needed his help and
He did.
conjured a hollow mask to expand his power. But this meant the hollow within only grew stronger.
Yeah.
Masked up, he can fire lasers, bypass super senses, and heal
That's his
boss
Vasto
kills.
Lorde
But
form.
piss him off enough, and he'll go full hollow. And you really don't
Yeah,
want
Vasto
that.
Lorde.
Qualification exceeds even Bankai, and was enough to crush Ukiura in a battle that shook all of Hueco
Yeah, it did.
the world of hollows. Full hollow Ichigo could even tear through all 3 layers of hell. But with
Shit-
help from his
shit is
secret
broken.
Shinigami father, Ichigo continued
Vasto Lorde
to fight for
Ichigo's
months
broken.
in the Dangai, a
Yep.
corridor between dimensions.
Dangai
He
Ichigo was even
finally
more
ready
broken
to
than Hollow
challenge
Ichigo.
Aizen. Challenge is an understatement. He manhandled Aizen, shattered mountains with
Yep.
sheer aura, and flexed so hard he smashed out of the black
He looks
coffin,
sick in
which
his Dangai
crushes
form.
space like a mini black hole. And yet, it still wasn't enough.
Nope.
So by becoming Getsuga itself,
Final
Ichigo
Getsuga,
unleashed his
no,
ultimate
Ichigo.
attack, Mugetsu, defeating Aizen at the cost of all all his power.
Yeah, that shit sucked.
Cool,
Cool ability, but that shit
Ichigo
sucked.
never truly realized until then just how much being a Shinigami meant to him. The power to protect others, his drive, his pride in himself was gone.
Yeah.
He would give anything to get it back.
That arc was sad as fuck.
Thanks to a surprise assist from Rukia. Boom! Shinigami again!
Just
Yeah, we're back, boys!
With a final endgame
He's
boss,
stronger!
Yhwach.
Who planned to end everything.
Yeah.
And while other Shinigami tried their best, only Ichigo was special enough to pull it off.
His father was a Shinigami.
Chiba.
His mother was a member of the ancient Quincy's and possessed by a hollow. Hence, his two Zanbakuto spirits, one Quincy, the other Hollow and Shinigami, made
Yep.
Ichigo a perfect union to break Yhwach's plan. Finally, Ichigo understood himself, fully unifying with both Zanbakuto spirits within. With that came a new Shikai and two new Zanbakuto.
Yeah, he reforged his
True
Zanbakuto.
Shikai. If you thought Ichigo was strong before, oh boy, he's the strongest Shinigami alive. They're dead. Undead? Yeah.
Stronger than Kenpachi, who could split the Dangai in half. Stronger than Senjumaru, who shook heaven and earth across the realms.
She did.
And strong enough to match Yhwach, even after he absorbed the Soul King.
Juiced up with Soul King power.
That looks
Yhwach
terrifying,
could
bro.
All three realms, the human world, Soul Society, and Hueco
Mundo,
Mundo.
yep.
Plus the Dangai and Garganta in between, which have a bunch of pocket dimensions sprinkled in. Hell, just the Soul King's corpse sent a shockwave across all the realms.
And it's not a matter of disrupting the flow of souls. Yhwach was going to end everything through sheer power alone.
But
Yeah.
Ichigo still wasn't done powering up.
Entering a new half-hollow form and merging his Getsuga Tencho.
That looks so
mighty
sick.
hollow attack, the Gran Ray Sero.
Making a giant crescent slash that rips through space itself.
That shit's sick.
All that power
His
culminating in his true
Bankai, yeah.
A power so great, even Yhwach was scared of it.
Joke's on you! Ichigo didn't even need it! You're done!
Ichigo was
Yep.
finally content. And 10 years later, he remains a Shinigami, having found the courage to stand on the edge of life and death, conquer his fears, and walk onward.
That's beautiful symbolism right there. I love that.
Teenagers have no idea what they want to do with their life. However, that was hardly a problem for juvenile delinquent Yusuke Urameshi,
Yep.
because he only ever wanted to do one thing.
Throw hands! It don't
Yep.
matter who the ups are, be they women, old folk, or babies, Yusuke lived to
Let me make
fight.
myself a bit
It's
bigger.
what gave life meaning. Who cares about stupid things like friends and family?
Which is why it was so surprising when one day he threw himself in front of a speeding car to save a child, bringing that reckless life to a screeching halt.
Truck-kun claims another victim.
But this is chapter 1 of a battle shonen, so death is hardly the end.
Yep.
Surprisingly, though, it wasn't a spooky skeleton in a hood who arrived to claim Yusuke's soul. It was a blue-haired anime girl on a broomstick.
This was Botan, whose job was to ferry Yusuke's newly deceased spirit off to the afterlife.
Unfortunately, or I guess fortunately for him, he was such an asshole that the underworld didn't see his selfless death coming and didn't have any space prepared for him. Imagine being such a menace to society that the second you do something nice, hell itself gets caught with its pants down.
Hell is like, we don't want you.
So
Hell was like, we don't want you.
Koenma
You suck.
offered Yusuke an alternative. He could return to life as an agent of the afterlife,
Mm-hmm.
a spirit detective, solving supernatural crimes and fighting off demonic threats to humanity.
Naturally, Yusuke did what anyone would do in that situation and told Satan Jr. to stuff it. I mean, he was never really good for anything and no one was gonna miss him. So what's the point of coming back to life? It's not like his mom would be sad, or his childhood sweetheart Keiko would be heartbroken, or even his rival Kuwabara would shed manly tears. Oh man.
At the sight of loved ones who cared far more than he ever expected, Yusuke had a change of heart and accepted Koenma's offer, returning to life with a new purpose and a new job.
And newfound ass-kicking ability. In his quest to beat the dog shit out of demonkind, Yusuke learned to harness Reiki, or spirit energy. He's ridiculously strong,
Yeah.
fast, and durable, heals from wounds quickly, and can see spirits invisible to mortal men.
Even early on,
Mm-hmm.
Yusuke could parry Suzaku's lightning arrows, which are formed from real lightning called down from the sky. And with the
Which
help
is
of
crazy.
legendary warrior Genkai, he mastered a signature move that could blast anyone to smithereens.
My favorite shonen move ever, the Spirit Gun.
Yep.
First, Yusuke had a limited number of shots, but eventually he turned it into his personal WMD. Stronger than any weapon on Earth, he could go finger blasting around as much as he wants.
The spirit gun
Which is
more
crazy.
versatile than
He
it
just
appears.
has a gun on
He
his
can bounce it off
in his
surfaces
his
with
hand
sneak
is the
attacks,
gun.
propel himself around like a rocket in flight, and produce massive explosions with each shot.
He can twist it up for a Spirit Shotgun, a mighty AoE blast, or a Spirit Punch, where he keeps the energy stored in his fists and clobbers the hell out of you. And the Spirit Wave, a Kamehameha from before we uncultured Americans knew what a Kamehameha was.
Yusuke may be a punk, but he's deceptively skilled and
Yep.
cunning in battle.
He's not afraid to fight dirty, throwing his shoes, using sleight of hand to place cigarettes on his foe to track them in the dark.
Personally, I'd call that smart, and his hand-to-hand is A+. He's matched experts like Cabano, who's said to have mastered all forms of martial combat.
But his best secret is how quickly he improves. All it takes is a round of training or someone threatening his friends, and Yusuke's power will spike to match stronger enemies.
Which
Even
is
if it
crazy,
means literally
or
burning
and typical
through his own
protagonist
life force
power.
for a power-up.
All known demons and demon fighters are individually ranked on a scale of power from E to S.
Yep.
A and D class demons are nothing special. We're talking local threats at
Fodder.
best. C and B are getting a bit dicey in a destroy your city kind of way. A and S? Well, hold on to
God
your
level.
ass. We're talking end of the world.
As Yusuke forged bonds with new allies, like demons Hiei and Kurama, as well as his old pal Kuwabara, he found himself facing opponents he couldn't beat, such as the monstrous Toguro, who could
Yeah.
vaporize weaker demons and crush their souls with sheer aura.
But
Which is
Yusuke
great-
needed
which
to
is sick when you
survive
first
and
saw it.
protect his loved ones. So he had no choice but to rank up, even if it meant absorbing the power of a small star. Thanks, Genkai.
Wait, you could do
The
that?
sun has an average luminosity
kidding.
of 380 septillion watts.
Small sun is
Small
crazy.
stars like red dwarfs output about 1/10,000th of that. So this spirit orb's energy per second would equal about 9 million megatons of TNT.
Enough
That's
to
crazy.
send Toguro to the grave.
Even after pushing past his own limits, Yusuke would still need more power to face S-class threats like Sensui, a past spirit detective gone bad, and a great measuring stick for what top-tier demons are capable of.
Sensui was so yoked he couldn't even use all his power in the human world without threatening to bring down the whole thing. He compared destroying the whole goddamn planet to kicking an anthill.
According to Genkai,
Damn.
Yusuke could destroy the planet too, if he really wanted. And even A-class threats like King Enma have shaken both the demon and human worlds.
That anima guy is strong as balls.
I mean, King Enma is literally the king
He
of
fought
hell,
the
so.
Netherworld King Yakumo, who could eradicate the entire human world and remake the Netherworld.
But Yusuke's power surpassed both of them to the point where he overloaded Yakumo with his own energy. And do keep in mind, Yusuke was still only A-class at the time, a far cry from S-classes like Sensui, whose sacred energy was 10 times his superior.
But not for long, sucker, because turns out Yusuke was a demon himself.
Literally. Yusuke is the descendant
Yep.
of an ancient and incredibly powerful being, one of the strongest in existence, Ryzen, the Demon King.
With his Mizoku mark, Yusuke can channel Raizen's spirit for a huge power boost and a massive thirst for murder boost. This was his first taste of a dangerous new type of spirit energy, Yoki.
A form of energy used
Yeah.
by demons. Like normal Reiki, it can be amplified by intense emotions. Unlike normal Reiki, its use creates a pleasurable feeling, feeding into the user's rage and
Yep.
bloodlust.
Well, that
the
makes sense.
feral animal within.
So Yusuke upgraded his spirit gun to a demon gun. It's the same thing, but red. Oh, and it's strong enough to blast Sensui past the horizon, putting Yusuke's power firmly in S-class.
And making him a prime candidate to rule the demon world. But as he was thrust into a tournament vying for that throne, Yusuke began to wonder if all this power was what he really wanted.
Self-reflection? From I'll kick your ass, Yusuke Urameshi? Nah, we can worry about that later. There's a tournament to win. Which one of you, girl, baby, or grandparents is first?
Even then, as Yusuke took on the Demon King Yomi in an epic final battle, he was still growing. He had become far stronger than before, even achieving a unique version of the Mizoku form separate from Raizen's influence.
And a brand spanking new form of power. Kinda like Sensui's sacred energy, but even better. It's so unprecedented, it doesn't even have a name, but it's golden glowy.
Strong enough to clash with Yomi, creating an explosion that split the heavens above and decimated the Okunin tree below, pushing the Demon King himself to his absolute limits.
But then, Yusuke.
That's crazy.
Lost. It's not all bad though.
But
If
does
the
that
Mad
put
King
him
would've been
over
cool,
Ichigo, though?
Yusuke realized he
That's the
wanted
question.
Something more. He'd grown up and chose to walk a new path.
It was always Yusuke's connections with others that motivated him above all else. And it was in those connections that he found his happy ending.
But I wouldn't piss him off if you can avoid it. Get him in the right mood or threaten the human world, and the spirit detective will beat your stupid ass.
Hell yeah, Boomstick. Hell yeah, he will.
Long has its return been foretold.
All right.
But now, finally,
So we're doing like a pixel fight. That's cool.
Original
Okay.
Death Battle shirt that
I don't know
once
that. I mean-
dominated the world. Hell yeah, there's no better way to wear a blood spatter.
All right.
Oh.
I skipped it. Link to the video would be down below, so you guys can go watch that ad. Okay. Good.
That's a demon. That's a hollow. No doubt about it.
Ichigo of Demon. I mean, he would appear as a spirit to Yusuke, I guess. The music is good, bro. Hold up. As always, Death Battle outdoes himself with the fucking music, bro. Okay, block. Okay, what? Oh yeah, he just played dirty. I was like, what the hell? This Ichigo just got shot in the balls. Settle.
Chump change. Reckless idiot!
He is reckless. In.
What a baby! Little demon energy got you scared? Nah.
No, Ichigo's energy is way beyond that too. Remember, Ichigo could replace the Spirit King. Not the fucking king of the universe in his world.
Damn, why didn't I think of that?
Come on.
Give in to me, Yusuke. Let's devour him together.
Okay, Ryzen's just in here.
Hell no! This is my fight, jackass! You just told me back!
Ichigo hasn't even used his hollow form yet. Or his Bankai.
Yeesh, rude awakening. This one's a piece of work. Need a hand, partner?
Let's do it.
Hell yeah. Wait, did they get Johnny Bosch to voice act this? Did they? If that's so, kudos on Death Battle for getting Johnny Bosch to voice act Ichigo. That's insane.
Is that the best you can do? I can go even faster if you'd like.
Yeah, that sounds exactly like Johnny Bosch. If it isn't, whoever's doing the impression, good job, guys. Good job. They should pay you more. That's insane.
Even if it kills me, I'm putting it all on the line. You better do the same.
All right, Ichigo, go all out, buddy.
Screw that.
Come on, Ichigo. Damn, bro, that Getsuga move, bro, can split anything, bro.
See you on the other side.
That's yeah, Ichigo.
The
Fuck.
afterlife offers frequent
Sorry,
flashbacks.
Yusuke. I love you,
Cover
man,
here,
but
so let's break this down
Ichigo,
into 4
come on.
chapters, starting
Come on, guys.
with their abilities.
I'm a Bleach guy first.
See Ichigo no problem and resist
I mean,
portals
look,
like
Kier
Kaguro's
Halibel, come
that are
on.
similar to Reiatsu.
Obvious.
So Ichigo
Obvious.
couldn't cheese a win right away.
Otherwise, Yusuke was outmatched.
All right.
Sure, the Spirit Gun could potentially match the Getsuga Tensho, and he
Yeah.
had stat-boosting forms like the Mizoku. Ichigo, however, had more varied powers, a better healing
he did.
factor, greater stamina given his months of Dangai training,
And all those swords. He just had way more abilities to play with.
More forms
Likewise,
and shit too.
speed
Which
was
he
a
didn't even
fairly
use all
easy
of them.
call. Yusuke could react to lightning early on and obviously got much faster over time. Looking at this blast from his clash with Yomi, it erupted upwards at 57% the speed of light.
But Ichigo was faster than light from the start, and he's
Yeah.
gotten faster
Again,
too.
Ichigo was
He
broken
couldn't
from
even
the
see
beginning.
Byakuya at first, but blitzed him in the rematch. Plus, he's got tons of training and power-ups since then.
The Soul King Shockwave, for example, expanded across the realms at thousands of times light speed. And Ichigo reacted
the
to
Soul
attacks
King
from
is the
Soul
king of
Yubak
everything.
that utilize the same power. So, Ichigo takes speed.
Yeah, he's
but
faster.
Yusuke's fought plenty of foes faster and more varied than him, so it's extremely important to examine their tactics and ability to adapt mid-fight.
This is kind of both their things. Ichigo has styled on guys with centuries of training and has over a decade of experience as a Shinigami.
He does,
He's
yep.
pretty good at figuring out new weapons and styles.
Meanwhile, Yusuke was flexible and quick to adapt, mixing cleverness with exceptional hand-to-hand. He's good enough to match Kabano, who mastered every martial art.
Which
Ichigo's
is insane.
decent at hand-to-hand, but it's not his go-to in the same way.
No.
So both had their
Ichigo
strong
fights with a
suits,
sword
with
most of the
advantages
time.
on each side.
Though he
It's
can throw
fair to call
hands.
This one a draw.
Leaving only the biggest winning factor, which could have superseded all other advantages: power.
Between Sensui, Genkai,
Which,
and Enma,
true, power
Yusuke
can
could
beat out
definitely
everything else.
destroy the planet. Examining his sky-splitting clash with Yomi and measuring its scale, that's about 4 quadrillion megatons of TNT.
That's a lot of TNT.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Similarly, mid-series Ichigo could shake Huecomundo,
Yeah.
tear through hell, and block attacks that could destroy the Soul Society.
He
But
didn't just tear through hell. He almost destroyed hell as in his Vassal Lorde form, to the point where, if you guys watch the movie, like, they told Ichigo, do not go back in hell. You will destroy that dimension completely and then release all the denizens of hell into the real world. And so that scared the shit out of Ichigo. I remember, like, Ichigo was like, in that movie, he was battling himself because he wanted to go save his sister, who was taken by this evil dude that Ichigo trusted. I don't know why, but he trusted, and was sent to hell. So he, wanted to go in to save her, but was afraid of losing himself. And then there was this really nice scene between him and Orihime in his house, which really showed why they got together in the end, which was very beautifully animated, and Ichigo went in and saved everybody. But yeah, no, Ichigo could have quite literally eradicated hell, like, to the point where, like, everybody in hell would be able to just leave, and they were worried about, the Soul Society was worried about
at
that.
his peak, he beat Yuhabak, who could destroy several realms, which is
Yep.
far more impressive than just one.
To be fair, Yusuke also beat Yakumo, who could threaten 2 realms at the same time.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty close to Yuhabak's threatening 3.
And Yusuke far surpassed Yakumo afterward. The gap between him and Sensui alone was 10 times. So there could be an argument for Yusuke's power surpassing Ichigo if 3 realms was truly Ichigo's limit.
Fortunately for Ichigo,
It's not.
it's not.
Nope.
Yuhabak was also going to destroy the Garganta, which has at least 29 pocket dimensions inside it.
Each containing at least a planet and star, much larger than Yusuke's planet-sized.
The thing is that Yuhabak wanted to eradicate all of creation. He wanted to take the whole system that the Soul King was built on top of, destroy it, and rebuild it in his own image. He wanted to destroy the whole universe, not just a couple of dimensions. He wanted to destroy everything. Everything that made the world and universes and the dimensions and the worlds go round, and rebuild all of it. That's how strong Yuhabak was, and he almost succeeded. Almost.
Worlds. Plus, Ichigo matched Yuhabak in True Shikai,
Yeah.
without his additional boost from Half Hollow and True Bankai.
As always with Death Battle, there's arguments either way. But the way
Wonder
we see it,
if he'll
even
ever go
being
full
generous with
hollow. We never
Yusuke's
got to see
power
that.
and
That would be
conservative
sick.
with Ichigo's, the gap was just too big,
Yeah.
giving Ichigo the final edge.
Again, I knew this was gonna
He's
happen.
got Urameshi, but that's just how Ichigo's.
The winner
Ichigo's-
is Ichigo Kurosaki.
Kurosaki, hell yeah.
Next time on
All right, let's see
Death Battle.
who's next. Who's next? Okay, we got transform. Oh, Metal Sonic. Okay, and Cell. The battle
Subscribe
of
and
robot.
join as a
the
member
battle
to
of
see
android
more
slash
Death
robot.
Battle.
Okay.
Thanks for watching.
Death Battle is back, and so is
Okay, that's gonna be sick. I wonder. Let me know who you guys, if you guys are excited for that next death battle between Metal Sonic and Cell, as well as what did you guys think about the battle between our boy Ichigo and Yusuke Urameshi? Do you agree with their assessment of Ichigo being the winner? Obviously, I do, but again, I'm biased toward Bleach as much as I do love Yu Yu Hakusho. I watched Bleach first, ironically, right? Because I think Bleach came out in 2005. Yu Yu Hakusho came out way before that. And by the time I knew of Yu Yu Hakusho's existence, I was a lot older, and I watched Bleach before that. So yeah, Bleach has a special place in my heart. Do I think Yusuke can beat Ichigo? Probably. If like Yusuke had more training and stuff, like he would eventually surpass Ichigo, maybe. But Ichigo is like some divine god being that could have replaced the Soul King. Remember that. So yeah, good fight as always. Death Battle does great. And guys, let me know if like did they get John? Was that Johnny Young Bosch in as Ichigo? Like, did they get the real Johnny Young Bosch, or was that a voice actor that they hired to sound like him? Because if they did, congrats to that voice actor. He sounded pretty spot on to Ichigo. And if it is Johnny Young Bosch, hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for watching. This was a great watch. And, adios.